How y'all doing today? How y'all doing? So, like I said, I want to introduce myself. Like I said, I am Full Circle J, Arcada J, Unapologetic J. It's the Real World J podcast show. I'm your host, Full Circle J, with host Mark 2.5, half as nice and twice as nice and half the time. 2.5, 2 grams and a half. Mark 2.5. We are the hosts of the Real World J podcast show, and today podcast is about forgiveness, part four. This is the trilogy of forgiveness, part four. We're gonna get deep and down into part four. If you've been added to the show, if you are you new to the show, you know how the show, you know how the song, you know how the show go. We start off with a song, get the vibe of the show, and then we get to the quote, and then we get to the bones of the show. And the show is called Forgiveness, Part Four, the end of the trilogy. And we're gonna get down. We're gonna get deep down, and remember, like forgiveness can put you in, in like not forgiving yourself and not forgiving others and not you know, just forgiving the situation and forgiving moments in the situation can put us in a bad place and can put us in rainy days. But you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, the sunshine comes out and the rainbow come out, and we do it again. And here we go. That's how we start the Real World J podcast show. Let's go. Until you see the sound that I see your face, shout at me, smile at me. Hey, yep, baby, I got y'all. Come on, y'all. Can't stand it. Yep. Mm, can't stand it. Come on, y'all. Come on, wisdom. Mm, the feeling like the Lord's pain. Mm. Let it rain on me. If I breathe, I'm an angel. Hey, shine on me. Shine at me. Yep, you're an angel and you broke. You still an angel. If you feel like you got broken wings, you're an angel. Hey, hey, everybody, stand up. If you're feeling down, stand up. Point blank. How y'all doing? Real World J podcast show. Let's go with the quote of the day. And the quote day of the quote of the day is what the hell? Oh, the quote of the day is sorry about that. Technical technical difficulties, but I'm back. I'm focused. The quote of the day is love yourself enough to work harder. Mm, mm, mm. I'm gonna say it again. The quote of the day for the Real World J podcast show, hosted by Jason Morgan and hosted by Mark 2.5. Mm. The quote of the day is love yourself enough to work harder. Let's go. Okay, let's do it. Let's start off with it because you gotta understand it. Like if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Because if you don't love yourself, if you don't love yourself, how can you really, honest God truth, how can you expect anybody else to love you? They don't know what to love because you don't know what to love. Mm. How you expect somebody to love you unconditionally when you don't even know what to love with yourself? You don't even like. So I mean, at the day, it all starts out with this. You gotta like yourself to love yourself. And when you love yourself enough, then you cherish yourself. When you cherish yourself enough, then you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You end up in a priceless place. Oh, you wonder why? Like, okay, how did you start with that? It start, you know what I'm saying. It start by knowing your self worth, and you got to forgive yourself if you know what I'm saying. If you got to forgive yourself, especially you know what I'm saying. Forgiving yourself, like forgiving yourself is the first thing. If you don't forgive yourself, how can you expect to forgive others? So let's start with that. So this is how we're gonna start the tail end of the show, forgiving ourselves. Because sometimes you know what I'm saying, like that's the beginning of forgiving, of forgiveness, like forgiving yourself for what you did, what you didn't do, what you thought you could have done. You know, because if you don't forgive yourself, how can you expect to forgive others? Like I said, and it would and it would be hard. It'd be hard every time forgiving someone, but you haven't forgave yourself. How can you forgive someone? How can you forgive someone if you haven't forgave yourself about the situation? Like sometimes you gonna sometimes sometimes you can't be hard. Sometimes in the day you can't be so hard on yourself because um for one, some of the shit that we went through or some of the shit that we go through, shit we know better. Like how can you? And in the end of the day, that's crazy to me. How can you love? You know what I'm saying? How can you love something so much, but you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But it's like kind of like you love doing so bad. You love doing something bad, but you love you know what I'm saying? But you hate the consequences. Well, shit, stop fucking doing it. Like you know, it's like when people say like forgiving yourself is not going. You know what I'm saying? Forgive it. Yeah, and I just wanted to say, anybody want to jump in, chime in, talk about it, talk about anything, talk about whatever you want to talk about. You can hit that guest button, and you know what I'm saying. And let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying. It's Real World J show, talk show, podcast show. So if something resonated, if something hit, something clicked, whatever, or you just want to get something off your chest, let's go. I'm all about it. But besides that, I'm gonna keep on working. I work solo until somebody want to chime in. Yeah, man. But at the end of the day, like you got to recognize, like I was saying, like that that safe place or that other place that you go to. You know what I'm saying? When you're feeling down, you know what I'm saying, and that's a place that you go to. It's like no, don't. That's not a safe place. That's a bad place, and that's a place that you should tear down. Because that's all the place. Because that's the place that got all got all the hurt, got all the pain, got all the misery, got all the shame, got all the, you know what I'm saying. How's that a safe place? If you go into that place every day, you're not forgiving yourself. Who wants to go, like who really wants to, somebody in their right mind wants to go see a dead body, the same dead body every single day. Like the place that you're going to, that's a place that things never grow. It's called the past. The past should stay there, and we're supposed to move forward. That's why it's called the past, and you working in the present for the future. That's how that works. Easier said than done, but if you work hard, you work hard at it. By if you work hard by loving yourself, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You work hard by forgiving yourself. It'll go come to it'll come together like hand to hand. But yeah, you know what I mean. Cause you gonna understand it like, and then like like forgiveness is a hard thing to do because it's comfortable. Cause to it's comfortable to be, you know what I'm saying. It's comfortable to be in a sad, miserable, or angry place because it's easy to get angry. It takes effort to not to get angry and not to get sad and not to get upset. You know what I'm saying? Not to you know what I'm saying, and not to let triggers, you know what I'm saying, bother you. You know what I'm saying? That takes effort. So, it's hard, but you got to do it though to, what I'm saying, to get where you want to go, to get where you need to be, and be where you should be. You know, because at the end of the day, you need to do what you need to do to get where you need to go. And one of the tools, and I say one of the things that you can do one of the things that you can do to help you, like, you know what I'm saying, like, help you, like, forgive yourself. If, like, you know what I'm saying, like, look things from afar. Because I tell people, if you look things from afar, you can see things clearly. That's the kind of person I am. You know what I'm saying? It just, to me, it just makes sense. Because, you know what I'm saying, cause we live through life through television so much. So things go over us, around us, behind us. You know how they go, right? So you look things to look from afar, you can see things clear. So you can see, okay, what's good, what's bad, what's ugly, what need to be fixed, what need to be taken out. I need to pay more attention to this. I don't need to put no effort in this. You know what I'm saying? This is the motherfucking problem. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You can see all that and recognize all that. If you look from afar, you can see things clear. Real World J podcast show. Yeah. But nah, man. They just and then like I had to work on what I'm saying, like forgiveness. What I'm saying, within myself, like within like my family. My friends. Like I consider my friends my family. So that's how the one when I say like my family. So it's like my family. So I have to like give my like I have to like forgive myself for the things I have done, or probably the things I have said, and the things that they have done. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot, especially when you have, especially when you have a lot of forgiving to do. That'd be a lot because you have to do it because you got to be able to grow from it, or what I'm saying, or get away from it. Like this is pretty much how I pretty much live my life. Like I live my life like this. Like if it doesn't make sense to me, like because I'm an open minded person. I can see things like two, three, four, five ways. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, that ain't me, but yeah, sure. You know what I'm saying? It can be it can even be to that too. You know what I'm saying? My point is my point is like, man, I'm the type of person like if the shit don't make sense to me, if it truly doesn't make sense to me, I just wash my hands like somebody can do something and like, that shit truly don't make sense to me or whatever. Okay, I be like, you know what, we good. Cause trust me, If they're gonna do some shit that don't make sense to you, what make you think they're gonna do it the second time? Or maybe that's probably what they are, and they just like hoping it. You can understand character for so long. You gotta crack. You gotta come out, and and then like you gotta understand like like and I'm gonna give you the key. I'm gonna give you the master key, the major key about forgiveness is, and this is the major key. So if anybody listening, you have the major key of how you can forgive. I'm gonna give you the major key that you can almost forgive anybody, or you can forgive anybody. You ready? I'm about to hit you with it. Major key alert. The key is you got to remember, and this is facts. We are imperfect people trying to be in perfect situations. No one's perfect. Everybody fucks up. Everybody stumbles. Because you know why? We're not perfect. Sometimes you gotta forgive people because they're not perfect, because you're not perfect. You are who you are. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, we mad at somebody because they are, you know what I'm saying, they are who they are. Because our job is to, if we want to accept them in our life or not. That part. So while you mad at somebody, that's an easy decision. Can you accept it or not? Are you good with that? Is it does that one thing trouble everything? And if it does, then that's your answer. And if it don't hold on to it because it's so much other positive things you can't hold on to. You know, because at the end of the day, I had to realize and I had to find out. You know what I'm saying? Just because somebody just because somebody hurt you, don't doesn't mean they don't love you. And then they're like, what the fuck? Well, it's true though. We ain't perfect. We're not perfect people. You wouldn't even want to be perfect. I wouldn't even want to be perfect. We strive for perfection, but we know we can't reach it. That's the, you know what I'm saying. That's the, you know what I'm saying. That's it. That's the chase. That's it. Use it for that. Not complicated. And like you gotta, you know what I'm saying. And like, and honest, and forgiveness is a hard thing to do. I understand because because all it does is how this plays out, and you know what I'm saying. And forgiveness is, man, the mind just replays what the heart feels. That's all it does. So the first thing that you got to do to get your heart right, you know what I'm saying, and the rest will follow. Because your mind only does what it tells, what you tell it to do the majority of the time. And if you got more hurt and pain than your own thoughts, and we need to, you know what I'm saying, we need to fix that. If you spend more time, if you spend more time in hurt, and then more, you know what I'm saying, if you spend more time in the darkness more than the light, basically. And if we're doing that, then that's the wrong, you know what I'm saying, that's the wrong, you know what I'm saying, your rotation is wrong. You know what I'm saying? The goal to have less, you know what I'm saying, less darkness, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, nothing but light. You know what I'm saying? That 10, 15, 20% I was gonna be there because that's what we call life. That's the imperfect. You know what I mean? And to like, you know what I'm saying? Like just to be just mad at someone and just like just be mad at someone, it's like a lot of like wasted energy. But you know what she could be doing? That's the point. Could be doing something else. But you want to sit here and be mad at someone and not and just like this, like let it go. I understand certain situations. I understand certain situations, and you know what I mean. Certain circumstances. And trust me, I've been in some fucking rude ass situations. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. Trust me, I ain't done. I'm 40, so I've been through life. I done seen through life. Hell, I done done. You know what I'm saying? I done done some shit in life. Too much shit in life. So yeah. Like I said, anybody, shout out to the 14 listeners on Wisdom. Really appreciate y'all for listening. Like I said, many more want to jump in. Y'all good. Y'all good. Come on. I ain't mad at you. Got something to say, say it. But, but now I'm just going to come on rocking the show. As you know, if you've been on the show, you know how I do. Um, and also, like I said, like the steps of getting, like, like, like the steps are, like, it's steps to get into, uh, like I don't forgive that person, level. You know what I'm saying? Like that first level, like the first step is like, of course being mad or upset, whatever. And then the second step is like, holding a grudge. I tell people, holding a grudge is like you drinking the poison, expecting the other person to die. Think about that. Why would you do that? Because they live in their life like a peach, and you still walking around mad, and it been a year. Man, say if anything, they trying to get that shit off their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? They trying to get, you know what I'm saying? They trying to get rid of that shit out their mind. They trying to heal from that shit as fast as they can. Have that same energy. It's not because you know what I'm saying. It's not because they don't care, because you don't care. It's just because you trying to move forward, and that's the goal. Why wouldn't you try to? Why wouldn't you try to hurry up and try to move forward? Part of life progress. If you know what I'm saying. If you always moving forward, you never stopping. You never slowing down. And I tell people slowing down is too close to stopping. So I would never slow down on forgiveness because forgiveness is healing, and you know what I'm saying, and healing is growth. Why would you? Why would you? You know what I'm saying? Why would you not want to do that? You have to do that. And I know forgiving is hard because some people have committed atrocities towards you. You know. And if anybody out there, you know what I'm saying, somebody done told you that you ain't shit, and you know what I'm saying, that you garbage, and you trash, and somebody body shame you, or just case, or just somebody been bitching to you, you know what? You ain't garbage. You know what I'm saying? Because even a garbage can gets a state, and you're not even a garbage can once you have faith in yourself. And once you have faith in yourself, all the bullshit will go away. Real World J Podcast Show. Like you gotta forget yourself for even believing that shit. Even if some of that shit was true, okay, it's shit. You got it in you to fix it. It's you if you want to, and if you don't, that's your choice. But don't ever let somebody make you feel bad about. Don't ever let somebody make. Don't ever feel bad about somebody else's opinions about you. Make it make sense. Am I lying? I don't think so. Because you can't live your life you can't live your life through other people's opinions. It's not your life. It's their life. It's their opinions. Come on now. And if you're doing that, forgive yourself. Cause it's hurtful. You you putting this you know inflicting wounds. And also, you know what I'm saying. I want to tell people, you know what I'm saying, like forgiveness is just not for them. Like I said, it's really for you. Like fuck them. They alright. But the most important thing that you gotta be alright. Cause if not, then you just putting that bad product. But one of the worst things that you can do while you trying to heal and everybody around. Like you ain't ready to go outside, man. Don't take your motherfucking ass outside. And I mean, and I'm referring to this like one of the worst things you can ever do. And people say this shit. The best way to get over a person is get under another person. That is some stupid shit. But you know why? The only thing that you are doing is bleeding on someone else who didn't even cut you. That's rude as hell. So you gonna bring all this bullshit, this brain, this baggage. But you somebody you want, you know what I'm saying? But you say you want a great relationship, you know what I'm saying? This and that, you want this and this and that. You starting off wrong. Cause you bring along what the last person bring to you. You know what I'm saying? Done to you. Then what? And you gonna start looking like that, and then you gonna start looking at that person like they the same. See how they go? That's that forgiveness, you know? Because you just bleeding on someone who didn't even cut you. Like for real. And then you expect them to help you, you know what I'm saying, deal with you and deal with your problem and then help you bandage you up, you know what I'm saying, deal with the issue that you had the last guy because that's affecting your new relationship. That's rude as hell. That's a waste of time. And you say you wanted a good relationship, but you bring bad things into a new relationship. Make that make sense. Oh no. Real World J Show podcast. We are rolling tonight. Appreciate y'all for listening, man. Shout out to y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, Sergio. Thank y'all, Sandra, Storm, Levi, Rev, Marvin, Ann, Creed, Tina, Gloria. Appreciate y'all for listening. I see y'all. Uh, yeah. So like I said, anybody want to like I said, talk to us. Anybody want to chime in? You know what I'm saying? You got something to say, something resonated. Hit that guess button. I'm all good. We good. It's the Real World J podcast show. And then so And then see, and then so you see how that's a vicious cycle because now you bring it back to someone, and then y'all going through problems because it's the same problem. Now you bring a problem that you bring an old problem with new saying with new situations. Sometimes the old can't go with the new boo. Sometimes the old, sometimes you got to throw that shit away. You be in a better situation. You got to recognize that. You got to receive it because some people like others got true. Some people won't even know if they had a good person, had a good man or a good woman right in front of them, right in front of their face. Because one thing about forgiveness, when you forgive, like when you forgive, you learn how to receive, and you know what to receive and what to reject. That's called learning. Everything that you know what I'm saying, everything that you feel like is a L is not an L. It's the other L. Sometimes it's the other L. Learning. If you learn something from it, then how is, how is it lost? You picked up, you know what I'm saying. You learned from it. You picked up, you know what I'm saying. You received it, and now you apply it. You know what I'm saying. Now you apply it to your life. We, we call that we call this on this talk show small victories. Sometimes 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 you got to celebrate the small victories because when you get to the finish line, you know you act like you've been there. Yeah, man. Uh, like I said, that's the Real World J podcast show. You can download us on all major platforms on our Apple Podcasts. You type in the Real World J show. Uh, Apple Podcasts, or iHeart Music. Uh, Music. The Real World J podcast show is sponsored by iHeart Radio. Really appreciate y'all. It's been wonderful. You know, there's uh, you know, YouTube. Type in a Real World J podcast show, and you'll see me and Mark on there. Uh, we live, you know what I'm saying. You can see us, you know, so you can see us live. You see what we look like. So, everything, um, even if you just want to listen, we got the listen version too. Um, you know, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. This show is here to help ease the pain. Cause we ain't all been through something. I done been through something. I done been through a lot. Like, imagine, like, going through the worst thing you can go through and still trying to, like, build on yourself and build, you know what I'm saying, build on yourself, on your character, you know what I'm saying, build on your character, and also trying to build, you know what I'm saying, um, generational wealth. And you got to juggle all that. Man, I mean, I know I tried to do that earlier this year, you know what I'm saying, like last year, and like, I was good. You know, I guess I was looking good last year. I had my moments, and like I noticed, like I really didn't. I noticed afterwards, but I did notice that shit was like the shit that the, the shit that I couldn't forgive or I didn't want to forgive or I couldn't forgive was like bleeding into other shit like my work and like my relationship with people and stuff like that because I was mad at one particular person. Don't let that happen to you. It happened to me. and it affected things, and then it affected things. So now I gotta, so now I had to circle back, and I feel like I'm still trying to, you know what I mean, come back from that, cause I didn't forgive. I just wanted to be angry. I just wanted to be mad. I just wanted, you know what I mean, and still wanted to be functional. Basically, you know what I'm saying, not walking around like that, get somebody walking around with that so much pain and hurt, and not forgiving yourself, and not forgiving the individual or others. It's like walking around drunk. What I said, you know, Real J podcast show. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna be out. I love y'all.